New at 9, avalanches are one of the most dangerous winter hazards. On average, they kill about 25 to 30 people a year in the United States.
And so far this year, there have been 24 fatalities all outside of Arizona. 2 weeks ago was the deadliest week in the U.S. in terms of avalanches on record. Stephanie Olmo headed up to Flagstaff to learn more about avalanche safety.
It's one of the greatest dangers on snow-covered slopes. Sheets of snow sliding down in an instant. Avalanches are known to be destructive forces of nature that can result in a tragic ending if caught in them.
4 backcountry skiers killed over the weekend in one of the deadliest avalanches in Utah history.
The beginning of February was the deadliest week of avalanches in the United States on record. According to the National Avalanche Center, 15 people died the week of February 1st due to avalanches. 4 of those deaths occurred in Utah, making it the most deadly disaster in the state since 1992. One of the reasons for an active avalanche season, the dry periods in between winter storms, which causes a separation in the snowpack. President of the Kachina Peaks Avalanche Center, Derek Spice, says another reason is the amount of people visiting the backcountry slopes.
The wilderness is always open. You don't have to ride a lift, you don't have to wait in a line. You can hike up from the bottom. We're in a pandemic, so everyone wants to get outside and enjoy this fresh air.
That's what's called the human factor. 93% of avalanche accidents are human triggered, started by either the victim or someone in the victim's group.
Most avalanche accidents occur within 24 hours of new snow. And if it's a bluebird sunny day, that's when we're feeling good and we want to get out there on the snowpack. And that's when we want to really rein that urge in sometimes and listen to the snow. We call that listen to the mountain.
At Arizona Snow Bowl, ski patrollers are responsible for all aspects of safety inside the ski area boundary. Where there is avalanche terrain, the ski patrol is responsible for managing it.
What that usually means is we'll have a group of snow science technicians, guys that'll go out and study the snow inside the ski area boundary to determine whether or not there's an avalanche danger. And if there is a danger, what we'll do is go out and do hazard reduction.
Dominic Zanzuki is one of the many patrollers who use explosives to create smaller controlled avalanches to make the slope safer for winter recreation and ultimately minimizing the loss of human life.
When we go on these avalanche control routes, basically each patroller that goes will have between 10 and 20 pounds of explosives in their backpack, again about this size. And this is what we'll throw out onto the slopes to initiate these avalanches. These are controlled with a 90-second fuse, so that gives us plenty of time to throw it and walk away.
This season so far, with the lack of significant snowpack and minimal base at the San Francisco peaks, there hasn't been any human-triggered slides yet. But Derek says people should still learn about avalanche safety before hitting the backcountry slopes.
When we leave the ski area, we need to have knowledge of the snowpack. We need to have knowledge of the terrain. Where am I going?
The Kachina Peaks Avalanche Center offers avalanche awareness classes and hands-on training. In one of the courses, students study the stability and structure of a snowpack to help them determine where it's safe to ski.
The bullseye angle for avalanche activity is 38 to 40 degrees. And right now, we're on a 40-degree slope. When we dig a snow profile, we look for a representative but safe area.
Then it's time to isolate a column of the snowpack to assess.
In this snowpack, this is all fresh snow. It's pretty soft, that's fist hardness as we call it.
What we notice is a difference in the layers.
So what we're interested in is hard snow on top of a weak layer, and look how this fractured here. They're not bonding well.
All the ingredients are there for an avalanche. Then there are the rescue drills.
When heading outside of the ski area, you'll learn in training it's important to have 3 essential tools: a probe, a beacon, and a shovel. All necessities to conduct an avalanche rescue.
We head over to search for the beacon. By using a transmitter, you're able to pick up a signal which would indicate the location of the victim.
I'm going to find my smallest number, 0.4. I'm going to mark that. Now I'm gonna go across, the numbers are getting bigger. I'm gonna probe right there. So I've located what I think might be my victim.
And there it is, just what we were looking for. The goal is to conduct a successful rescue in well under 15 minutes. After that, chances of survival will quickly decrease. But as Derek says, the best rescue is the one that never happens. Stephanie Olmo, Fox 10 News.
Wow, great information to know for sure before you head out there. Arizona has had one avalanche fatality on the San Francisco peaks. That was in '95. To learn more about the avalanche awareness and training courses, head to fox10phoenix.com.